HOA claimed my house was too bright. It's powered by solar panels I designed. Have you ever built something so revolutionary it made your neighbors lose their minds? That's exactly what happened to me, Ethan Carver, a 34-year-old engineer living in the sleepy suburban enclave of Willow Creek. My crime? Designing a cutting-edge solar panel system for my home that was so efficient it turned my house into a glowing beacon of innovation. Literally. The Homeowners Association, led by the infamous Karen Whitlock, declared war, claiming my house was too bright and a blight on the neighborhood's cookie-cutter charm. What followed was a clash of progress versus pettiness, where my invention became the spark of a rebellion that exposed secrets, flipped alliances, and left Karen's reign in ruins. It all started 2 years ago when I moved to Willow Creek, craving a quiet place to tinker with my passion for renewable energy. My house, a modest 2-story with a south-facing roof, was the perfect canvas for my prototype, a next-generation solar panel system. These weren't your average panels. I'd spent years in my garage lab perfecting a photovoltaic design that captured 40% more sunlight than commercial models, with a reflective coating that maximized efficiency. By day, they powered my home and fed surplus energy to the grid. By night, they emitted a soft, ambient glow, nothing blinding, just a subtle luminescence that gave my house a modern, almost sci-fi aesthetic. I thought it was a triumph of engineering. The HOA thought it was a declaration of war. Karen Whitlock, the HOA president, was Willow Creek's self-appointed guardian of neighborhood standards. A 50-something real estate agent with a penchant for power, she ruled with an iron fist, enforcing rules about grass height, mailbox colors, and even holiday decorations. My glowing panels caught her attention within a week. A certified letter arrived, accusing me of violating the HOA's aesthetic harmony clause, claiming my house was disruptively bright and lowering property values. The letter demanded I remove the panels or face fines. I laughed it off at first. How could clean energy be a crime? But Karen wasn't joking. She rallied neighbors, spreading rumors that my panels were a health hazard, emitting radiation or blinding light that endangered the community. The battle lines were drawn. I wasn't about to dismantle years of work because of Karen's vendetta. I dove into the HOA's bylaws and discovered a loophole. While they could regulate exterior modifications, they couldn't outright ban solar panels, thanks to state solar access laws. Armed with this, I presented my case at the next HOA meeting, expecting a rational discussion. Instead, I walked into a lion's den. Karen had stacked the room with her loyalists, who gasped theatrically as she projected photos of my house at night, exaggerating the glow to make it look like a UFO landing site. "This is an eyesore," she declared, clutching her pearls. "We can't let one rogue homeowner ruin our community's charm." The crowd murmured agreement, but I noticed a few skeptical faces, people who seemed curious rather than hostile. That's when the first twist hit. Among the skeptics was Maya Torres, a quiet single mom and electrician who lived across the street. She approached me after the meeting, her eyes bright with intrigue. "I've seen your panels," she whispered. "They're brilliant. I want in." Maya revealed she'd been studying renewable energy herself and suspected Karen's crusade wasn't just about aesthetics. She'd overheard Karen bragging about a deal with a local utility company to keep Willow Creek traditional in exchange for perks. My panels, Maya suggested, threatened that cozy arrangement. This wasn't just about light, it was about control and maybe even corruption. Maya became my secret ally, helping me gather evidence while I fought the HOA's demands. I filed an appeal, citing Texas House Bill 362, which protected my right to install solar panels unless they posed a clear safety risk. Karen countered with a new tactic, claiming my panels' glow violated light pollution rules. She hired a consultant who produced a dubious report saying the luminescence could disorient wildlife and disrupt sleep patterns. It was nonsense, but it swayed some neighbors who started leaving passive-aggressive notes on my doorstep. "Turn off the disco ball," one read. Another called me solar freak. The pressure was mounting, but Maya and I were ready to fight back. The confrontation came to a head at the annual community barbecue, a Willow Creek tradition where Karen held court like a queen. I'd spent weeks preparing, with Maya's help, to expose her hypocrisy. We'd uncovered emails between Karen and the utility company, hinting at under-the-table payments to block renewable energy projects in the neighborhood. As Karen gave her speech about preserving our community's values, I took the stage uninvited. I held up my tablet, displaying the emails for all to see. "This isn't about aesthetics," I said, my voice steady despite the glares. It's about keeping us tethered to outdated energy systems for someone else's profit. The crowd gasped, but Karen's face went white. She stammered, trying to deflect, but the evidence was damning. Then came the second twist. Tom Hargrove, the HOA's treasurer and Karen's supposed ally, stood up. A grizzled retiree who'd always backed her, he shocked everyone by siding with me. "I've seen the numbers," Tom growled. "Ethan's panels could save us all money if we adopted them community-wide." Karen's been hiding the truth. He revealed that Karen had buried a proposal for a community solar project that could have slashed energy bills, all to protect her utility deal. The crowd erupted in murmurs, then shouts. Neighbors who'd once shunned me started asking questions. Karen's empire was crumbling. The fallout was swift and brutal. Karen tried to double down, accusing me of forging the emails, but Maya had already shared copies with the local newspaper. The story went viral on social media with hashtags like SolarRebel and Karen vs. the Sun trending locally. The HOA board called an emergency meeting, and under pressure, Karen resigned, citing personal reasons. Tom took over as interim president and proposed revising the bylaws to encourage sustainable upgrades, starting with my panels. The fines against me were dropped, and my house's glow became a point of pride, not shame. Neighbors even started asking for tours, curious about going solar themselves. But the real victory wasn't just Karen's defeat, it was the shift in Willow Creek. Maya and I launched a community workshop, teaching residents how to install efficient solar systems. By the next summer, 6 houses had their own panels, and we were planning a shared solar array for the community park. My invention, once vilified, became a catalyst for change, proving that innovation could outshine even the pettiest of tyrants. Looking back, I realized this fight was about more than solar panels. It was about standing up to control freaks who cling to the status quo, afraid of progress. Karen's downfall showed that truth and persistence can topple even the most entrenched power. So, what do you think? Was I right to fight for my panels, or should I have compromised to keep the peace? Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear how you'd handle a Karen in your neighborhood.